Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing, heavier scrutiny that Thai immigration is placing on foreign nationals here in Thailand. And I want to be clear at the beginning of this video, this appears to pertain, at least for now, specifically to Phuket. As with many of these sort of initiatives that we've talked about, both in a Thai and a U.S. immigration context, this can go broader very quickly sometimes. Sometimes it just falls by the wayside. Sometimes, they initiate these programs and nothing ever comes of it. Sometimes they do it, and with things like, for example, TM30. TM30 was a non-issue for years. I don't remember first decade I was here ever even hearing about TM30, and then poof, out of nowhere, Immigration Division 1 started kind of dealing with TM30, and the next thing you know, it was a nationwide thing. Now, Immigration Division 1 is sort of immigration headquarters, if you will, so it's a little different than something arising in Phuket, but we have seen things go the other way before as well. The protocols, for example, that occurred under the Phuket sandbox ended up being implemented in other parts of the country, so just because it didn't happen up here in Bangkok doesn't mean it didn't happen, and doesn't mean it doesn't have greater or wider ramifications. I thought of making this video after reading a recent article from The Phuket News, that's thephuketnews.com. Article is titled, Red Card System Launched for Bad Foreigners in Phuket, and we discussed this in another video where we were talking about that they brought in this system, again, specifically for Phuket, which pertains to getting a yellow card if you commit an offense, and it appears that this could even be a rather minor traffic offense, and if you're caught doing something twice, if you're cited twice, you're immediately deported. If you're quote-unquote yellow carded, it means you won't be allowed back in on the next trip. But they haven't been real clear. Is that like for 90 days, a year, forever? Questions abound. I can only give the answers or the information that I have, and I don't have any further information there. That said, I thought further in the article, it was very interesting that this, I thought there were broader implications to the scrutiny that Thai immigration is putting upon certain foreign nationals. So I want to go ahead and quote directly again from thephuketnews.com. Article is titled, Red Card System Launched for Bad Foreigners in Phuket. Quoting directly, Phuket Immigration Patong Police and Phuket Tourist Police had arrested French foreigners involved in the above, and they had arrested a foreigner for, quote, stealing a Thai job, unquote. Quoting further, well, let me speak to that for a moment. That's a Labor Department violation. We've discussed this in other videos in the past. Labor violations can have immigration implications, as we're seeing here. Quoting further, officials at the event also promoted the Traffy Fondue app as a means of filing complaints to authorities, which has become a standard entry into nearly every local government report involving officials. Quoting further, Phuket Immigration Chief Police Colonel Tanat Sukchai called on all people to report illegal activities perpetuated by foreigners. The reason for this video, folks, is that this can happen from time to time. It kind of ebbs and flows. It goes in waves. Immigration takes enforcement of, for example, labor laws against foreigners very seriously for a period of time. And then it'll kind of wax and wane, and then it'll come back. Be careful. At the end of the day, you need to be in compliance with Thai law, and failure to do so can result in some serious consequences, and the ramifications could be permanent in certain cases. For example, as noted, this yellow card, red card, if you get a quote-unquote red card after 2 citations, you're just immediately deportable and presumably not able to come back to Thailand. So I've had people ask me, where do they get the authority to do this? I'll get into that in another video. I'm making another one contemporaneously with this one, but long story short, be aware that although this appears to only be pertaining to Phuket immigration, as we've discussed in other videos, Big Joke has now started getting back and involved with immigration up here around Bangkok and the greater sort of area, the surrounding area. Pattaya is seeing longer processing times associated with certain Thai visas. Again, all things considered, I don't think there's a lot to worry about in Pattaya at the moment, but this could end up being a broad trend. So again, if nothing else you take away from this video, maybe it's just kind of be on alert that scrutiny is getting more heightened at the immigration offices and by immigration officers here in the Kingdom of Thailand.